Well, bourbon fans, there seems to be a shift happening in the bourbon market. Brown-Forman is laying off employees. Bottles are sitting on the shelves that used to be hard to get. So what is going on? Well, let's talk about it. Hey everybody, I'm Tim, the Bourbon Dad, here to help you dads find some great bourbon. Today we're talking about the state of affairs with bourbon. Brown-Forman, one of the huge whiskey companies, they own Jack Daniels, Woodford Reserve, Old Forester, Early Times. They are laying off 12% of their global workforce, which comes to 650 people. Not only that, but they've closed both of their cooperages. They used to be the only bourbon company that had their own cooperage. They've had a cooperage in Louisville, Kentucky since 1945. And in 2014, they bought a second cooperage in Alabama to try and keep up with the demand because they just couldn't do it. Well, they sold the Alabama cooperage in 2024. And just this year, 2025, they have sold their Louisville cooperage, or they are going to sell it. And they're laying off all the employees associated with it. So they're going to outsource their barrels from now on. They have had 4 consecutive quarters, so a full year, of decreasing sales. Now, the information I'm going to share with you today is 100% coming from an expert because I aced my undergrad economics course. So you can fully trust me that I'm an expert in this area. There's other weird stuff going on. Booker's, for the past several years, used to be gobbled up off the shelves and disappeared quickly. Well, lately, I've seen Booker's batches all over the place. Now, some like Jimmy's batch are harder to get, but Master Distiller's batch is at still a lot of stores just sitting around at retail price. In Missouri, we have Sazerac Rye finally, and it's just sitting on the shelves. It used to be highly allocated, hard to get, and now it's sitting everywhere. In Illinois, E.H. Taylor Small Batch is no longer allocated. It doesn't mean it's super easy to find per se, but it's no longer allocated. So it's starting to creep back into the market more. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and Larceny Barrel Proof are also sitting on the shelves. I just went to a store the other day and they had stacked deep Larceny Barrel Proof from last year and even 2023. Things are just not moving off the shelves as quickly as they used to. Now, is this from oversupply or under demand? Hard to say. Could be a little bit of both. One thing that I've noticed is the market is flooded with ultra premium bourbons or whiskeys. Bourbons that cost, in my opinion, any bourbon over $100 better be really damn good. But the truth is, there's a lot of them coming out that aren't really that good, and yet they still have a high price tag. That part of the market has to change. That is not sustainable. I just reviewed Penelope Havana. You can check that video out up here. It is way overpriced for what you get. It's those kind of special releases that are jacking up prices for no necessary reason. So this year in 2025, I think more and more formally allocated or hard to get bottles are going to be more available. We may start to see a little bit of change in pricing, maybe, or at least not as much of a climb, because that's what's been happening over the past few years is all the prices have just been climbing. So I expect they'll at least stay the same. Maybe some bottles will start getting a little cheaper again, maybe. I think there's still going to be a lot of the truly premium releases that will stay ultra rare and hard to get. The Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. You're not going to see George T. Stagg sitting on the shelf anytime soon. Heaven Hill, their special releases, you name it, they're not going to just be sitting around. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But I do think already you can see on the secondary market how prices for those kind of bottles are dropping dramatically. So a good sign for us who actually drink the bourbon and enjoy it and not just collecting it or trading it like a commodity. I'm optimistic that there'll be more bottles available to us to try to get for the first time. So we'll see. Politically speaking, there's also tariffs involved now. You know, that's going to prevent overseas sales for a lot of these bourbons and whiskeys. So that means we're going to have an oversupply here, which can only drive the price down as they try and unload all that. Not going to be good for the distilleries. What I'd love to see is craft distilleries make a rise. These little smaller companies that produce really good stuff that don't get the recognition that they need. I am trying to bring those companies to light, so follow me along this journey as I try and uncover those. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. Until next time, cheers.